expected to see an incredible amount of activity in the world stock markets. September 22nd, today, is still supposed to be mathematically the last day up for the U.S. and the world stock markets, and what follows is a collapse potentially starting as early as tomorrow, the 23rd.
Silver investors could make a fortune. Billionaire Eric Sprott and other top gold analysts predict that silver will dramatically outperform the yellow metal. In order to maximize your exposure to silver, consider shares of Golden Arrow Resources trading on the TSX Venture under GRG and the US as GARWF, where insiders have accumulated 50% of the company, and billion-dollar giant Silver Standard Resources has taken an 8% stake in the company. This company has 250 million ounces of silver resources and is headed up by the one man who's responsible for the largest silver deposit discovery in history. Learn more at crushthestreet.com/silver100.
Hello everyone and welcome in. Today I have someone on the line who is making waves in the precious metals arena. You all know him, Bo Polny of Gold2020Forecast.com. Probably the boldest analyst out there who puts himself on the line with down to the day predictions. And, I'll be the first to say that not all predictions have been perfect, but I have to give him credit where credit is due. And specifically for calling gold's bottom down to the day on December 3rd, 2015 on this show at its low at 10:45, and he came on the show again just a few weeks ago on September 1st, calling gold's secondary bottom of 1304, and again to the day. And sure enough, he was right, and gold bottomed out and has trended up since. So, Bo Polny, I wanted to have you back on again. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for having me back on. Great speaking with you as always.
So this is what happened, everyone. I get a call from Bo Polny following our last interview, and he tells me, hey, September 22nd will be an incredibly important time for the markets, and we need to schedule an interview. And I think he's going to have a prediction here for us, and let's get right into it, Bo. What is important about today, doing this interview right now, September 22nd on Thursday?
It all stems from last year. I'm not sure if everybody remembers, but I'm sure many people remember this year of September the month of September and the year 2015, which was last year. That's when the world was expecting a market collapse and a crash, and nothing ever happened. I believe I was probably the only or one of the only analysts saying that there will be no stock crash in September of 2015, and we were 100% correct on that. Since then, we've had, and this is based on mathematical calculations, relative to the Bible, and what we end up doing and finding is that there's what's called a Jubilee year, and what we did, and I guess the best place to start was after that non-crash event in September of 2015, we posted a video. It was titled Credit Collapse, the True Date of Shemitah 2016 and the Year of Jubilee. And that was published on December 18th of 2015, and it's on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And in that video, we specifically referenced, and we were the only people at the time talking about this coming October and this coming end of September. So in that video, we have a date, and first was October 1, which was a Chinese yuan was officially supposed to be added to the IMF's SDR basket, which is right around the corner here. And then October 2nd was what we call the true date for the Shemitah, which is Elul 29. And then Monday, October 3rd, is what basically would be Rosh Hashanah. So basically between today, the 22nd of September, and October 3rd, we're expected to see an incredible amount of activity in the world stock markets, and specifically today, when I'll get a few slides for you in a few minutes, Ken. But basically today is supposed to be the last day up for the U.S. and the world markets. Now we'll see if we're correct. Could it go higher? Could it be a day or two off? Possibly, but September 22nd today is still supposed to be mathematically the last day up for the U.S. and the world stock markets, and what follows is a collapse potentially starting as early as tomorrow, the 23rd. So we'll see, and whether it's going to be a day or two off here or there. But mathematically, today's supposed to be the last day up, and tomorrow's supposed to be the first day down. So we will, we're here, and now we wait and we watch.
Bo, most people, they look at the macroeconomics, they see the inevitability, they know something big is coming, but you are talking about something down to the date, calling the high here of the stock market. Again, let's get into some of these charts and these slides that you have for us.
So basically, it stems from, if you watched our videos, I think many people have seen what's called the jaws of death or the megaphone top chart pattern. And it basically involves with three highs, 1, 3 to 5 top, and then a 2, 4, and a 6 bottom. The 6 bottom is supposed to be a crash low on the Dow in the $5,000 to $6,000 range. So basically, what the chart is indicating is that we're looking at a terrible stock crash that's about to hit our world. Again, we're not going to 5,000 this week or this month, but that is a projection target that we have for a low. Mathematically, I'll send to you. There's mathematical time charts, but these are basically called Daniel's timelines, Daniel's time counts, and it's specifically a 1,260 day, 1,260 year, month, whatever you want to call it, but specifically it's a 1,260 day cycle that calculates out to a jubilee year of this year. And the credit cycle is all based on the belief in credit having value, having paper having value. You take away the perceived value, you take away faith, you take away confidence from paper, from money, and what you get is paper. You lose the value. So what we believe here is about to happen is an incredible shift, in our world. I sent you a chart that starts with the birth of Jesus, and so you do 7 cycles of 252 years, and you land on 1764. And then, interestingly enough, and we've mentioned this in other videos, but that was when the Currency Act was enacted. And basically every 42 years after that, you had a stock crash, including the Great Depression of 1932, the 1974 stock crash, and then 42 years later, you end up at 2016, which is now, this year. So we're expecting chaos to begin hitting our world. We did also an interview, and this is on our webpage, called Chaos 2016, and there was a slide that we posted saying mathematically August 15th was supposed to be the final day up on the equity markets, and you'll notice that the S&P and the Dow topped to the exact day. So I'll send you that slide, Ken, if you'll see that. The S&P topped out at 2193 on September 15th, on August 15th, and you'll also see the Dow topped out at 18,668 on August 15th. And then what I did for you today, Ken, and also for all your viewers, it's a yellow slide, and it's pretty interesting, but check this out. You'll see the Dow and the S&P all in one slide. And what do you see on there? You see those 4 blue arrows, Ken?
I certainly do.
So interesting today, but today's mathematically supposed to be the last and final day up for the equity markets.
It's just hitting that line there.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we had this date mathematically calculated for months already. And then today, lo and behold, not only does it come up, but it hits the line and stops and then reverses off of it. So potentially, if this is correct, then it drops from here and it just starts to go down terribly and aggressively downwards after a fourth fail, of hitting at that line 4 times. So that's what we're looking at right now, for today being September 22nd, and we'll see what happens here very, very shortly. And then I go on the internet today and I go to Zero Hedge, and sure enough, check this out. I included a slide for you. It's a $195 billion asset manager by the name of Tad Ravelli. Okay, look what the header is. The time has come to leave the dance floor. This is a man who controls $195 billion. So that's
a lot of money, and when people with money do stuff.
That's crazy money, and the fact that this article, there's so many people talking about it, but now you have a man who controls that amount of money is saying these things, and it's fascinating that it lines up with chart analysis or cycle analysis.
Well, Bo, you got a couple more slides here that I want to cover with you. Again,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
fascinated with the analysis. And again, if you're right here, I'm going to be blown away. But please continue with what you're showing.
Okay, so then we're going to do a couple more slides, and these are really, really interesting ones. We're going to start with the Six-Day War. So we got 1967. The war started on June 5th of 1967. So we run there's 7 cycles of 360, 7 times 360. Basically, it's 7 cycles of 252 days, which adds up to 18,000 days. So 18,000 days from the start of the war lines up to September 15th. Now you know when the war ended, that was on June 12th. So 18,000 days exactly from June 12th lines up to today, September 22nd, which is exactly, and interestingly enough, the summer equinox. So what this is telling us, this cycle ends today. And we go to the next slide, and this is a very interesting slide with relation to the Pope. So you've got March 13, 2013, and you remember the number 1260, right? Well, 1,260 days, look what happened on August 24th.
Blood moon over New York.
Blood moon over New York. Fascinating. So now the next cycle within Daniel's timeline is 1,290 days, and that's tomorrow, September 23rd. And then there's 2 other cycles that we calculate. There's a 1305 day and the 1335. So the 1305 date comes into October 8th. So that'll be an interesting time point. And then the last one's extremely interesting. 1335 days with Daniel's count lines up to the day before the U.S. election, which is on the 8th of November.
Well, there you have it. Everyone, this was a quick update that we definitely wanted to do. You heard it. We're at the top. The stock market is trending down, and Bo Polny laid out his analysis here. Bo, was there anything else that you wanted to add here regarding this call?
Nothing except, when the markets crash, there's one insurance policy. And you know what that is, Ken. It's called gold and silver. That is the insurance policy against what's about to come here. So with relation to the market crash, I so encourage you and your listeners to really pay attention. But the best insurance policy is gold and silver.
It's been nice accumulating actually under $20 an ounce, talking about silver here. And actually today we've lost that opportunity as far as spot price goes. But let's see how this plays out, Bo. I appreciate you coming on the show. If people want to learn more about what you do, of course, let them know about your website a little more, Gold 2020 Forecast.
Yeah, we have 2 things: our website, gold2020forecast.com, and also our YouTube channel, same name. Just type that in at YouTube, and you'll take you to our webpage and our YouTube channel, and you will see our recent interviews, including this one, which we'll have linked there as well. And aside from that, I really encourage your listeners to pay attention, to be aware, be alert of what's where we're at in our world. The time points right here, right now, are incredibly fascinatingly interesting, and we do have time points in the future on our webpage, and so if you're interested, you can always go to our webpage and get more information. But I highly encourage your listeners to really, really be alert as to where our world is at today.
Good deal, sir. Well, Bo, thanks again for coming on the show, and I look forward to following up with you in the near future.
Thank you, Ken. God bless.